today we're taking a look at another one of these Zuru dinosaur blind bag things, surprise dino strike, I think what they're called. Today we have 3 more, technically 4, but I have a copy of one of these figures. The Velociraptor, the Stegosaurus, and the Therizinosaurus. And I'm going to look at these guys in order from the one I like the most to the one I like the least. Yeah, I'll talk more about this guy in a minute. I'm just going to prop him against something, and he knocked the other one over. Okay, first off we have the Velociraptor, and now actually, as I mentioned when I first did the review of these guys are blind bag figures, so you're not going to know which one you're going to get until you open the actual box. And because of that, I actually have 2 of this guy. This one is... I have equipped it with a weapon from a different figure, which I'm not going to review in this video, but it will be reviewed pretty shortly. But I'm going to move him off to the side so I can show off one, and show him off in his base dino form, I guess. And by that I mean take off his armor. We have this very odd-looking... Not odd-looking necessarily. I mean, this is basically just your standard Jurassic Park-style pop culture raptor. Nothing too original, but it's just in a really odd pose, though there is a reason for that. And it does have to do with stability. You can not really do anything with him in this. He doesn't really have any real articulation. I mean, the arms do move, but not by... Oh, okay, actually, there is a gimmick here, which is if you press down on the tail, his arms will jiggle back and forth. They don't go very far, though, and you can't really do anything. The mouth does open. If I can get it open. Come on. There we go. It does open a little oddly, though, and he has some very, very small teeth. And I guess that's just because... I guess that's more accurate, but at the same time, you'd think they'd up the teeth size just to make the thing look more ferocious. So let's get his armor on. As per usual, you just have the helmet, which doesn't like to stay on all that well. And then we have what I like to call for this series the missile backpack. And unlike the other ones, the triggers to fire the missiles are actually both on the same place. They're both on the sides, so that's nice. It means I can actually shoot the missiles off without needing to adjust my view of the figure. But basically, attach the missile backpack and you will see exactly why he's leaning up like that. So the tail can be lowered more towards the ground, so the center of gravity is in a direction where he can actually stand. You can see it more with this one because of the fact that I added an extra cannon. But the missiles do fire pretty nicely. I'm not going to actually fire them because while I was opening another one of these figures today, one of the missiles shot off and I had to go looking for it. So I'm not going to fire any of the missiles off, but I'm going to move these 2 off to the side. Not bad. Very Jurassic Park-ish, so don't expect accuracy, but not bad. Next up we have the Therizinosaurus. Now this guy I really wanted to get just because Therizinosaurus is my favorite dinosaur. I really shouldn't have expected it too much. I mean, it is, when you look at it, that looks eerily similar now, doesn't it? To someone I know. Oh, hi, Dr. Delonius. Yeah, okay, the Schleich Therizinosaurus looks this guy looks an uncanny amount like the Schleich Therizinosaurus. I mean, yeah, he doesn't like to stand up very well, unfortunately. They look almost identical. This one just looks like a much smaller, shoddier knockoff, and I get that Schleich's figures are bad, but I honestly feel like they have the right to sue with how many people are copying them. But, Now, he does have a gimmick, which is pretty standard for what you'd expect from a Therizinosaurus. You push down on his tail, you actually have to stand him up to do this, and I think both arms are supposed to swing up and down, but only one of them is for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why that is. I think both of the arms are actually supposed to swing, but that one doesn't. Now, once again, you can... And I actually have 2 of this figure as well, but I didn't grab the second one, so... Now, once again, you can suit him up in armor. You can get him his helmet, which is... It just makes him look even more like a Skeksis. I already mentioned that I thought the Schleich Therizinosaurus looks like a Skeksis, but this guy does too. And then we get probably the most ridiculous missile backpack in this entire series. And it's even more ridiculous looking if you... Okay, come on. These missiles do peg in pretty well with the launchers. It's even more ridiculous. I actually should have grabbed the second one just so I could show this off. It's even more ridiculous if you put it in the position which I initially thought it was supposed to go in, which is like this. That's not how it's supposed to go according to the directions. You can do that, but if you do that, and I'm not gonna... Jesus. Okay, I'm not going to do that with the actual figure, but if you do that, you can put him up like that, but he will have absolutely no way to stand up if he is doing that, and he's already not particularly stable as it is. Now, getting this on him is a bit of a pain in the ass, because these are supposed to be shoulder pads. As you can see, I'm having a struggle, and I just shot myself with one of the missiles. And I just shot the other one off. God damn. I'm not doing too well at this, am I? I never said I was professional. But, yeah, once you get them on... Now, without the missiles in, he's actually fairly stable. But with the missiles plugged in... And I'm going to have to go grab the other one because it flew all the way over to the laundry rack. Now it's got all this gross shit on it. You can plug these in to get him... all ready for combat, but doing so will also come at a major loss of stability. He was already starting to tip over before I corrected him, and I just shot the missile off again. Yeah, the triggers for the missiles on this one are on top of each of the guns, and they are on the same spot, which is nice. I don't get why the Pterodactyl's missile launchers are not in the same spot, but, I don't really dislike this figure too much, but I don't really like it either. Because, like, I didn't like the Therizinosaurus because that's a figure from a major company, and I would have expected them to be better. But this guy, who's basically a knockoff, it's from a much smaller company, so I wasn't expecting too much. But now we move on to, and I would say this guy's my least favorite of the three, but we have our good old buddy, the Stegosaurus, here to look at last. And I'm going to strip him of his armor, which is actually harder to do than you'd think in some cases. Now, in his unarmored dino form, he doesn't look too bad. I mean, he's very, very Jurassic Park-esque, but now he does have a swinging... He's supposed to have a swinging tail gimmick. It works okay. I really wish the tail had a bit of a wider range on it, because, I mean, he's not going to be hitting anything with that, especially with the way the tail is bent like that. In fact, looking at this thing, it also looks broken. Now, you can get him standing. I mean, he stands decently. But now we get the part where we're putting the armor on. The mask, not difficult to put on. The mask is not difficult to put on. It's these cannons. Now, you see these little claw-like things. What you're supposed to do, and this is what the directions tell you, is attach them to the plates. I don't know why someone at Zuru, which is the company that made these, not Zulu, as I incorrectly kept typing it as a few days. I don't know if I ever said that in any of the videos, but... Oh, come on. Yeah, they don't like to attach is the main problem. The lobster claws, as I like to call these little attachment thingies, are about the worst thing ever. Now, this one I've managed to get secured. The other one, nada. I have slid it down here. You can see that took way less force, but the problem with that is that this one doesn't like to stay on. Now, the triggers for both of these are actually these, what I have my thumb over. And they fire like you'd expect, but of the three, the Stegosaurus is definitely my least favorite. So if you get this guy, I would not recommend keeping him, or if you do want to, unless you just want to complete the collection like I do. The other guys are decent, but this guy is definitely skippable.